Hey everybody, it's the Boss Lady here. Before I get started with Talk About Tuesday, for those of you who have tall husbands or significant others, do they ever drive your vehicle and lay your seat back? Can you see how far back Boss Lady is? Yeah, I'm like, my arm is fully extended holding the camera. So hold on tight, let me adjust my seat and we'll get started. Okay, so what I want to talk about today, I want to say that this is the Boss Lady's own opinion. It's only my opinion, what I think about the situation. I want you to comment below when the video is over and tell me what you feel about the situation. So I will say, just to begin with too, viewer discretion advised, because we're gonna talk about some serious stuff today. So, and excuse me for the sun being in my face, but you know, it's a beautiful morning anyway, and so I'm gonna be looking at the road so I don't hit nobody. But anyway, I wanted to talk about today open marriage. Before you even ask the question, no, Boss Lady was not asking Boss Man for an open marriage. Neither was Boss Man asking Boss Lady for one. We had watched a YouTube. It came up in my YouTube feed of something recommended for me to watch because I had watched something else. And so, and I'm not going to go into detail about the, who was in the video, whatever. Bottom line is this. There was a couple in the video talking about them having an open marriage. And of course, the interviewer wanted to know, well, whose idea was it? Was the man's idea? Because the man was a beautiful man. And so the woman answered and she said, no, it was my idea because of, the type of job she has and things of that nature. Well, guys, after I sat there and I watched it, the woman talked about them being, best friends and all this different stuff and how she just loved him and he loved her and blah, blah, blah. That, she felt it was a cool thing and he did too. Basically, it was a matter of she wanted to, do what she wanted to do, but she didn't feel comfortable with him doing what he wanted to do. But he said, well, if you do it, I'm going to do it too. I watched the video first, and then as I watched it, I started screaming, and Bossman said, what's the matter? I said, you got to hear this mess. So, he listened to it, and I think I only let him, it was a 10-minute interview. We barely got through not even 5 minutes of it, because it was just the first little comment she made, I was just sickened. So, my first question to Bossman was, is open marriage the same as being a swinger? Because I've heard both terms, and because I don't do neither one, I still like to be abreast of what's going on or what's what or whatever. And so he said a swinger is, when the couple gets with another couple and they all do things, basically, pass your partner do-si-do, pretty much. But open marriage is where they're married, but they go their separate ways and do what they do. The other partner knows that they're doing what they're doing, but yeah, it's still whatever. He said either way, it causes issues within the marriage because somebody gonna get jealous at one given point, which 9 times out of 10 typically it's the woman, but men get jealous too. So I said, that's not for me. I said, because I don't share. And he said, yeah, I don't either. So, we are on the same page. But I had asked him, I said, because the way we are we of the minority when it comes to marriage? Because there are so many people who are, they see this stuff in the media. They see this stuff, with these stars, and they think, oh, well, if the stars can do it, I can do it. I'm sorry. I'm a regular Joe Blow, as they say. I'm not the one. I wasn't raised to share, so I'm not going to share. Boss Man was the only child, so he wasn't raised to share. So it ain't going on like that. But I find it just not funny. I find it just nasty that people would do that, especially with all the different diseases going on. You know, they don't talk about AIDS as much as they did back in the early 90s, but it's still out there. People still dying from it. You know, all these different STDs, and, you know, it's just ridiculous. And I just don't understand it. So I wanted to talk about it. You know, we'll talk about it Tuesday, because I just felt like, you know, this is something that goes on. This is something that has gone on, and people need to be aware of it, number one, and they need to talk about it. As for me and my house, outside of just, you know, being one with each other, yes, we're going to serve the Lord. We're going to make sure that we keep our covenant vows sacred and as one with each other. That's it. You know, we really enjoyed our weekend. I had a subscriber ask me, you know, how is it that you guys are still in love after all these years? And, you know, we are best friends. And when we met, we originally met through a mutual friend, and then we kind of went our separate ways, but then we still remember that first meeting. And so, you know, when we, you know, started to talk to each other, yes, the physical attraction was there, and it's still there. But, you know, as you get older, you know, sometimes the physical changes, you know, that's just real. But if you really love someone, if you're really in love with someone, you know, whether that physical is there or not, you know, you still hold on to, you know, what you had and what you have. So, I mean, I know there's so many people where, if something tragic happens, or even if someone gains weight, they're out the door. That's not us. You know, we are in it to win it, the whole 100-yard dash, pretty much. You know, now, if there was ever like infidelity, then yeah, you know, I'm gonna have to go before the Lord. Like, look, I'm gonna need you to come down yourself and tell me this is to stay together. But, you know, you know, I don't feel that my husband would go that route, because like I said, he don't like sharing, and he know I would go crazy. So, you know, but we have that understanding too. If there was a time where, you know, something wasn't where it needs to be, we talk about it. You know, we may kind of beat around the bush for a minute, but then we're like, look, we need to sit down, you know, take it to the park. Let's do this. Not just, okay, I'm mad with you, so I'm just going to step outside the marriage. No, that's not what we do. And so, you know, the whole open marriage, I was just like, I keep hearing this, and I'm going, what the heck? Are you kidding me? You know, if you want to sleep around and be with all these different people, then do that. You know, if you want to have your main thing, have that and continue to sleep around. Why would you go before God and say, you know, yes, I love this person, I, you know, cherish him, and, you know, death do us part and all this stuff, and then you don't even respect the vows that you said, you know? But then that also makes me think of, did these people really, you know, go before God saying, this is what I want to do, this is, you know, I have this, I want to have a covenant vow with this person? So that's my talk about it Tuesday. So that's why I kind of, you know, I gave that viewer discretion advice, because, you know, this for grown folks. I'll just put it like that. This for grown folks. This for grown people. This for mature people. So, I just want to make sure that, you know, my younger viewers understand, you know, this is not for you, so to speak. But also, I mean, if you're a teenager and you're thinking about all this stuff, yeah, you know, you need to reevaluate seriously, because it's just not cool to be stepping outside of your marriage. I mean, if you still want to sow your royal oats, don't get married, period. You know, and even though Boss Man and we dated for 12 years, we weren't dating, or not so much. Well, yeah, dating. We were in a relationship for 12 years. But we weren't like, okay, I'm dating you, but I'm dating this person, that person, that person. No, it was, we are together, and that's what it is. You know, we lived as husband and wife without the paper. And then I said, you know, it's been a while, you know, we need to go ahead and get that paper and just make it legal. So that's what we did. But still, you know, we were best friends, and we talked all the time. Like, that was the one thing about our relationship that I love, and that I still love, is that we can sit and we can talk for hours. Like, Miss Peanut being gone this past weekend, it gave us time to have grown-up conversation. And I mean real grown-up conversation. Like, we could talk about something and not have to whisper about it, you know, or if something was like bothering us, we could just, you know, talk about it and not worry about, oh, is she going to overhear what we're saying or whatever, you know. And it was a really good weekend, you know, and it was something that, you know, we still get that conversation even with her here. You know, we might have to go outside or go to the garage or whatever, but you know, it was still a great weekend where we could just spend time together and we could just do what we want. It was like, we got up and it was like, what do we do now? It's like, we could do whatever we want. We don't have no kid, you know? So, it was a great weekend, and I'm glad that we had it. I'm glad that we was able to have this dialogue about the whole open marriage thing and, you know, just our take on it and our feels of it. You know, he said, you know, we old school. We were raised to, you know, you get with someone who's going to hold it down for you, just as you hold it down for them, and you just love them, you know, to death do your part. And that's just what it is. That's who we are. And so I appreciate that. I'm grateful for that, and I love my boss man for it too. So that's what Talk About It Tuesday, guys. I gotta go. I will see everybody in a new video. Thanks for subscribing. See y'all later. Bye-bye.